the picture that's going viral as a recording here this week, worlds colliding. Who would have thought? But there's a photo from a private meeting that essentially isn't so private, and I can only imagine if I was either of these people, I would be flipping furious how this got out. But either way, security camera footage, I think it's from a Zoom picture, from a Zoom call. But Shane McMahon in a boardroom with Tony Khan. I mean, WWE was just running the gamut right here with the news this week, and then that photo comes out. Shane McMahon working with AEW. What does that mean to you? Does that do who benefits from this? What could this mean? Do you see Shane McMahon actually doing something big? Does this mean Vince McMahon himself might do something with AEW?
I'll answer that first part with Vince. That last part you mentioned, Vince McMahon. No, I don't see that ever happening. Tony Khan will not want anything to do with Vince McMahon, considering everything that has happened. I just don't. I don't see that. But I will say this, just kind of tongue in cheek, in a joking manner. It kind of brings me back to the early days of that WCW being bought by WWE, and it's like the name on the contract says McMahon, but it's Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon buys AEW. I know that's not happening. I'm totally joking. I just thought it was. I saw people putting GIFs and videos out there.
I mean, Tony Khan's richer than the McMahons, so yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, you mean? I mean, the Khan family is, yes.
Yes.
Shad Khan is a very very rich man. But no, I think what's going to happen is I think Shane's going to be in AEW. I think Shane's going to do some crazy stuff because Shane likes to do crazy things and do crazy spots, and I think he's going to get a nice payday, and then he moves on.
I will say with your Vince McMahon thing, one thing I've learned, and I think this is just another example of that, is there is literally a never say never kind of thing. There is really nothing out there. We see Eric Bischoff show up in WWE and hug Vince McMahon. Lex Luger actually said recently on a radio show that he was told that Vince McMahon turned to Linda McMahon after he showed up on Nitro and said, no matter whatever happens in the future, I never want that guy ever in a WWF ring again. Never hire that man back. And Lex Luger's currently on a Legends contract. So I would say just with anything, it's never say never.
Like the grotesque nature of Vince, I just don't think that happens.
I mean, it would be very difficult for Vince McMahon to work for I think that would be. I mean, if
Vince will never work for anybody. What do you mean?
I would say, here's the thing. If they are still making that biopic with Bradley Cooper about Vince McMahon and they put it on pause because of everything going on and obviously new caveats to the story, you can't put the Bill Cosby documentary out there and his biopic starring Jamie Foxx and it end with Bill Cosby hugging everyone and going off merrily afterwards. You got to add the final chapter to that story. So with Vince McMahon, right? And that's a hypothetical movie, but this one, you got to add the new chapter. You can't end with just Vince McMahon overseeing WrestleMania and it all coming to an end. You got to add the epilogue, if you will, to the story. So if you were to add to this story, how amazing would it be to do Vince McMahon, the biopic, the rise of Vince McMahon, and then it end up being him sitting there as a 90-year-old man with a headset on and Tony Khan saying, no, do it this way and not that way. And Vince McMahon going, yes, sir. Okay, you're right. And then that would just be like the awesomest, not just so much negative. I don't have that much animosity towards Vince, but it would just be quite the beginning.
Vince will never work for anybody.
It would be like the end of the Sam Walton story, showing Sam Walton as a bag boy at another grocery store, like putting the cans in the bag.
That's a good analogy. I'll give you that.
And the head of Piggly Wiggly saying, hey, come on, bag these up a little bit quicker. Come on, these customers got to get out of here. And then, him being like, yes, mister. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And that would be Vince McMahon working for Tony Khan, right?
I mean, I guess one can dream, right?
Seeing some 30-year-old boss of a wrestling company telling a 90-year-old broken down man who was atop of the world, yes, sir, I hear you, sir. We'll do it your way, sir. I get it. I thought there'd be a better storyline, but now I see it your way. You're the booker. You're the boss. We'll do it your way, sir. Like, that would just be great. And I think that'd be the most amazing end to the Vince McMahon story in real life and on the screen. Just that would be unbelievable. Like, amazing. I would watch that. I mean, I would watch that movie, but as knowing if that happened in real life would just be the most like, wow, that is so amazing, right? Seeing Vince McMahon go out that way as an employee for a 40-year-old, late 30-year-old boss of a wrestling company who's trying to put WWE out of business. That